Good morning. It's Monday, March 24th. Professor Ramser, how are you? So let's do a screen share, go over what we have coming up for this week. Let's look at the modules. And we finished week 10. And I see most of you posted on your weekend check-in an image with the citation and some analysis of it. I encourage you to start experimenting with essays 5 and 6 and using other forms of in-text citations besides just a quote from the text or from the novel. So you can certainly include an image as long as it's properly cited. So refer back to this exercise as well as go to MLA online to make sure that you have a proper citation for the image. Because we're dealing with a more complex issue in essays 5 and 6. So that's the end of week 10. Let's take a look at week 11, the assignments. We've got part 3 of the novel. The novel is a pretty quick read. I'm sure that you've finished it by now or almost finished. I think it's a pretty quick read. So we got part 3. We're going to finish the novel this week. We get the symbol tracker, which is just identifying one symbol, one item, thing that symbolizes something else in each chapter. Reference it by a page number, some analysis of what that symbol is, how it connects to the characters, maybe a character who's saying it or thinking it, and how that relates back to the main themes or arguments that Orwell's making in this novel, 1984. We also have the writer's reference, basic grammar. It's chapter 11. Again, with those online discussion boards, I encourage you to use in-text citations in your questions and your answers. It makes it more academic, and that's my objective here, is for you to learn how to write in a very academic style. So use your online discussion boards for that, as well as your rhetorical preces. You don't have to follow exactly the template. The template is a 4-sentence structure. The first sentence introduces the text you're summarizing and referencing by title, author, date of publication, maybe a very terse, succinct quote from the text that symbolizes what this text is about. And sentence 2, 3, and 4 is more of your very specific analysis of that text that you're referencing. So the rhetorical preces, as well as the online discussion board, can use in-text citations, and I encourage you to do that. So for this week, we have the online discussion boards. We got some very fundamental, almost pedestrian kind of questions for you to answer about the novel. Then we have the revised outline. Follow the outline template. I can't emphasize that enough, as well as your notes about what you've read. This could be a screenshot. It could be a capture with your camera if you're writing notes in a notebook, for example. And then we have a lecture essay here. I've got some instructions on essays 5 and 6 as well. And I added this tab here because my objective as an educator is to sort of engage in this sort of critical consciousness that the Brazilian educator scholar Paulo Freire emphasized, which is where you have a problem identified, you've got some thinking around this problem, you've got some dialogue, which is where you interact with other sources in your writing, perhaps in online discussion rooms, perhaps in an online discussion forum, and this sort of creates what's called critical consciousness. So this is a reference to Paulo Freire and why I'm designing my course the way I did. For those that are interested, I find him immensely fascinating and a great role model. So that's week 11. Let's take a look at week 12. We'll have the peer review of essay 5. Again, some rhetorical preces. I think it's just one essay for you to get exposed to what an MLA format essay looks like. Again, and I think it was essay in week 10, was it? Week 10, I added at least 4 pages, at least 4 pages with samples of what an MLA essay looks like. So for essay 5 and 6, MLA formatting will be a critical component of your grade. So make sure that it's all double spaced, make sure you have a running header, make sure the first page is correctly formatted, make sure you have in-text citations that are properly formatted, make sure you have 2 in-text citations in each paragraph, make sure your thesis is arguable and it has the thesis structure of 1, the problem, 2, the reaction by credible sources, and 3, what you're going to argue in your essay. And those MLA formatted essays in week 10 are examples of how to make an arguable thesis statement. So for essays 5 and 6, I will be looking at MLA format, I will be looking at thesis statement, and I will be looking at in-text citations. So week 12 is a peer review, final draft redo. And for those that are looking ahead, essay 6 is going to be sort of a bigger argument of everything, mainly focused on the novel 1984. And then we'll have a in-text timed essay, so to speak. And that's where I'll put up a prompt. And I put, I think one of the modules, a sample timed in-class writing assignment with some handouts for you to help with that. That'll be in the last week of the semester. So week 11 is more work on your essay 5. Week 12, peer review, and your essay 5 will be due. And then going into week 13 through the end of the semester is working on essay 6 and preparing for that timed in-class essay. And that kind of summarizes where we're at now. Again, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I'll respond within a few hours, if not by the next day. And that's it for right now. Thank you so much and take care. Bye-bye.